What's up, summoners? King Player here. Today, for Top 5 Tuesday, we're going to be talking about the top 5 strongest 3 stars in Epic 7. Now, 3 stars are some of the units that a lot of people kind of sleep on, and these units are going to be free to play. So if you're a new player and you don't have these units built, or even if you're a late game player and you don't have these units built, they are really good units, and because they don't require you to have mola, are even better since it's easier to build and you can do a lot more with them. So if you like the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and join the Discord server. Link down in the description. But alright, 3 stars. We are going to be including specialty changes, in some of the strongest 3-star units are specialty change heroes. Now, I do want to start with some honorable mentions. The number 1 honorable mention I'm going to be putting is going to be none other than Adley or Chadley. He actually is a really good counter towards cleave teams that a lot of people don't even know existed, right? He does get Camarines every time an ally except for the caster is attacked, and it's pretty nice, right? So it gives some extra Camarines when one of your allies is attacked, allowing you to cut into the opponent, and then you're able to come in with your S3. That's an AoE skill that can reset skill cooldown, and you can even soulborn it for ignoring FRES. This is actually really good, and it can stop cleave in its tracks. One of the reasons it's not used more often is because it's a little bit more unreliable, only having that 85% chance, but still a really good free-to-play option for you to counter cleave with, right? You just build them a little bit faster. If they use Faithless Litica, you're getting a nice little CR push, right? So you're getting a nice little CR push right there, and you're able to come in with the S3 and reset those skill cooldowns, stopping the cleave in its tracks. So actually a really good unit overall. That's a 3-star, not even specialty changed. A lot of the other units in this list are going to be specialty change units. Some other units that I'm going to say the honorable mention: Curious for PvE. She's amazing for Abyss, and she's just able to apply so much poison. And Celeste being a really strong unit in the current meta for cleave teams to be able to get that extra outspeed because of the speed imprints, allowing you to outspeed your opponent, as well as her having one of the highest base speeds in the game, lets you cut into things like Cerise and push them back with the S3. So again, there are a lot of really strong 3-star units. I wanted to highlight those two because they're actually really freaking good at what they do, even though they may be a little bit more niche. Right now, let's start the list with the only non-specialty change hero, Mirsa. Number 5 is going to be none other than Mirsa. Why Mirsa? So a lot of people hate Rylot, right? A lot of people hate going against Rylot. They hate having to deal with it. They hate when it dodges. Now imagine if you had a 3-star that essentially had a very similar kit to Rylot, and that is going to be Mirsa. She gets that built-in 50% chance to evade. So along with Moonlight Dreamblade, you get a 70% chance. The other thing though is when they miss, she gets a speed buff, and with Moonlight Dreamblade, you get a nice little attack buff. You also reduce the cooldown of the caster by 1 turn, and her S3 is going to be a single target damage skill that does a really good amount of damage on a 4-turn cooldown, and it can silence the opponent. And this silence is for 2 turns. That's a long time to have to deal with the silence, right? So it's really unique and a really good unit. People do tend to use her for countering cleaves, and she also does have that speed imprint, which will allow you to outspeed certain cleave opponents if you're using things like Doris, and it makes units like Faithless Litica miss on your Mirsa. The other thing that it is really good against is going to be control teams. As you guys know, Rylot is really good at dodging the opponent, but sometimes he'll get hit by Cerise and be stopped in his tracks. If Mirsa is hit by a Cerise, it's not even that big of a deal because she'll still keep her evasion, which is again really good. Unlike Rylot, who gets hit, loses the evasion buff, not as strong anymore. And of course, every time they hit her, reducing the skill cooldown, letting you chunk a lot of their health is really spicy, and of course the decreased speed. The only thing holding her back and not making her better than Rylot is of course going to be her 3-star based stats. If this girl was a 5-star, she would be absolutely bonkers. If she's a 5-star, she would be played all the time, right? But because she's not, she doesn't get as much play, but she's very powerful and can definitely help you in the fight against control and against cleave, as well as just overall being really annoying unit. Now, at the number 4, we have none other than Angelic Montmorancy. You guys knew she was going to be in here, and this girl does a lot for PvE and PvP, which is why she is on this list, right? She's still going to be one of your most reliable cleansers in the game for PvE, and can even tank Wyvern by herself, being able to S3 and resist the Wyvern debuffs, being a really good frontline tanker for those early game players. Late game, as you boost her effect resistance, she can get to extremely high FRS level. It may not look like it, but her tree does give her a lot of effectiveness. There are people with Momos with 300 effect resistance while still having her pretty tanky and decently fast, right? Her S3 being able to cleanse 2 debuffs, you're able to soul burn it to cleanse 2 debuffs on the whole team, sets up immunity. Her S2 being on a super low cooldown, cleansing 1 debuff with the potential of cleansing 2 and healing, and the S1 having annoying sleep. She does a lot and is going to be a really reliable counter to a lot of control teams, since you can actually reach such high effect resistance levels with her, making you essentially not be able to debuff. And then you have a Momo that's there just healing and cleansing and being extremely annoying. Really good unit, especially to invest early on if you're a new game player. She will take you places. Even to this day, I still use my Momo in late game PvE content, and in PvP I still use her from time to time, whether it's Guild Wars or RTA or even Arena. So Momo, really good. Definitely seeing a lot more play. Now on to number 3. This is where it starts getting dicey. These top 3 units could easily go over the other one because they're all that powerful. And we are going to be putting our girl Magic School Doris. People are still sleeping on Magic Scholar Doris. She is insanely good. Do you hate Arbiter Vildred in Guild Wars? Slap on a Doris. Do you hate facing Rylets in Guild Wars and in Arena and even in RTA? Slap on a Doris. Do you go against dark units, period, and like playing a little bit more Bruiser? Slap on a Doris. She takes mitigated damage from dark units, also gives her a chance to apply defense buff to the whole team when attacked by a dark unit, is able to heal and cleanse with her S3, cleansing 1 debuff. I believe it goes up when you actually get her skills, with the actual skills, and is able to push up by 50%, essentially granting an extra turn and giving a ton of healing. And of course the S2 being able to apply the continuous healing and defense buff, making those units do a lot less damage and healing your team. She is a beast in Guild Wars, and even in RTA, Bruiser teams will take her, but she's going to be one of the most highly used units in Guild Wars. She's amazing for Guild Wars. If you're trying to get more competitive in Guild Wars, if you're struggling against Arbiter Vildred and against Rylets in Guild Wars, build your Doris. She's amazing. She does so much freaking work for you. She just does a lot, right? Able to heal, able to apply those increased defense, and even in PvE, she does pump out quite a bit of healing as well as buff that can help you in stages of Abyss and Labyrinth. But now to the top. The reason why I put these 2 higher is going to be because they do have a very strong PvP presence and do have uses in PvE as well. But their PvP presence is nothing to laugh at. At number 2, we have Falconer Kluri. Y'all, we are playing with the nerfed version of this unit. This unit is that powerful. Falconer Kluri is insane even to this day in RTA, in Arena, in Guild Wars, everywhere. She's a very good offensive unit as well as a defensive unit. Can be frustrating to use at times because if you miss the S3, it is very bad. She does get more speed from her skill tree that you do not see here. And her S1 allows her to get a lot of combat readiness. And when you get the skills up, she actually takes a lot more combat readiness and has the potential to basically almost take a full turn, right? So she has the potential to, with like a 10% chance to essentially get an extra turn, which is super duper good when you're doing the S1 on a unit that's already fast, that can cycle, that can heal, and that can lock down an opponent for 2 turns and apply decreased defense. This skill can legit win you fights outright. If you open with this skill in RTA or Arena, not only are you dispelling the buffs, you're essentially locking down that unit for the rest of the fight, because you're going to be easily able to take them out, or you're going to be able to just cycle out the opponent and get the extra turn with this S1 and just heal. And it's just so much support that it's just crazy what she's able to do. She cycles so freaking hard, able to heal the team a little bit, able to strip, apply provoke, apply decreased defense. She just does a lot. She does everything, right? Very powerful unit. If you're struggling with a good opener in RTA, she's probably one of the best openers right now for RTA. and PvE content. She's really good for the dark expedition since she does apply that decreased defense. She's also really good in a lot of stages of Abyss. She's also really good in Raid. She's just a unit you should have. She's amazing, right? And can definitely carry you very far into this game and can definitely invest with a variety of different builds. And now, number one, we have none other. I'm a little bit biased with this number one because I actually really like this unit. And it's going to be none other than Adventurer Roth. The MC, our boy, everyone has this unit. And he is amazing in PvE and in PvP. The more you invest in this character and gear, the more you get in return. He's used in Guild Wars. He's used in Arena. He's used in RTA. He's used in Golem. He's used in Asimekon. He's used in Raid. He's used in Abyss. He's used basically everywhere and performs well everywhere. His ability to dual attack with the S2 continuously, as well as give immunity to the highest attack target, is invaluable, allowing him to do damage, quote unquote, because you're able to dual attack with the highest attack ally, allowing you to do big damage and also protecting them a little bit with the immunity. He's able to set up increased defense buff for your whole party on a very low cooldown as well, only 4 turns, and heals himself, allowing him to be in the fight a lot longer since he's able to self-sustain with the skill and give a critical S3. And the S1 also gives him combat readiness. It doesn't state it here, but you get it from the tree, which allows you to cycle a lot faster, and the ability to dispel buffs makes him so good for PvE. And the S2, of course, being on a like 3-turn cooldown is ridiculous, and you can soul burn it with 1 soul and have this up every single turn. This character is amazing. The level that you can take this guy is just incredible. Build your Rosses, invest in him. You will not regret it. You will use him pretty much everywhere. And that is going to be it for this segment of Top 5 Tuesday. There is no reason you guys shouldn't have these units built. I know I don't have the Doris built, but that's because I used Royale. But that's a 5-star, right? And she's a 3-star. And honestly, Doris does better in some cases. But there's no reason you shouldn't try to build these units. They don't require mola, and they will take you very far. So that is all I have for you guys today. I will see y'all next time. Peace.